One more minute for the board to join. Oh. Okay, board. Board members, are we ready? So we can start the meeting. It's 5:30. 5:30. Okay. So we do have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. Good evening, everyone. It's great to see you here tonight. So we'll go ahead and go to 1.2. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by outgoing Ms. Cardinal Kimberly Leonardo. Kimberly is a 2018 graduate of San Bernardino High School. During her reign, she attended more than 75 events and did over 1,000 hours of community service. On September the 15th, at the Sturgis Center of the Performing Arts, Kimberly will crown her successor. Kimberly, please, could you please join us up on the podium for the pledge?
Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your service. That's amazing. You could easily be a school board member with all the hours that you're putting in. So thank you so much. Also, with the 1.3, adoption of the agenda. Are there any changes? Dr. Wolkemer? No? Okay.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, let's go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, motion carried. 1.4, inspirational message. I will be doing the inspirational message. And yesterday was Labor Day. And in my message is more on Labor Day, but with pertaining to child labor. And the minimal role in the United States today is one of the most remarkable changes in the social and economic life in the nation in the last 2 centuries. In colonial America, child labor was not a subject of controversy. It was an integral part of the agricultural and handicraft economy. Children not only worked on the family farm, but were often hired out to other farmers. Boys customarily began their apprenticeship in a trade between ages 10 and 14. Both types of child labor declined in the early 19th century, but factory employment provided a new opportunity for children. At least that's what they called it during that time. Ultimately, young women and adult immigrants replaced these children in the textile industry, but child labor continued in other businesses as they were paid lower wages and more tactable and easily managed than adults, and were very difficult for unions to organize. So in 1900s, 18% of all American workers were under the age of 16. But since then, the education reformers of the mid-19th century convinced many of the native-born population that primary school education was a necessity for both personal fulfillment and advancement in the nation. This led several states to establish a minimum wage for labor and minimal requirements for school attendance. When you look at where we're at right now, we have in our school district, and we're climbing there, we're in the 94% or 95%, I believe, close to, of attendance rate.
Just under 90.
just under 95. And so we're doing great things. And the whole point is that what was acceptable back then is definitely something that we're striving for our children now. So that's just, I wanted to give that little viewpoint of history of how it was for children back in the 1900s, 1800s, and 1900s. So I'll go ahead and move to 1.5. That was quick. Swearing in ceremony for 2018-19 student board members. So we will have the board members come up front, but Harold, do you want to speak on this?
Yeah, thank you, Madam President. We do have our swearing in of our new board members, student board members, this evening. Board, as you know, you took action to start adding student board members back to the dais and to our to your agenda. And last year, and we've continued with that this year. We have 3 terrific students. And so we're going to ask you to come up and join us as I swear them in, and then we'll ask our 3 students to come up as well. So come on up.
So board, we're going to go up in front.
You're just going to be around. Come on up a little closer to me, Casimir. So congratulations, student board members, on being selected. We're going to do your swearing in, which is a very, very special and serious part of becoming a student board member. The oath that you're about to take is the same exact oath that our elected board members take, and it's administered to virtually every government elected position there is. So I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Congratulations, you are duly sworn in. Let's give them a huge round of applause. I think we need a photo op, right?
Any of the families of the student board members join? We ask that you please stand next to your student for the photo op.
So I'll stand next to my seat.
Yeah. That would be my preference. Ladies and gentlemen, board members, if I can get your attention for just a moment and we can get a final shot of our student board members with their families or teachers. No, they're not. So I ask our non-student board members to stand so you're between the other students. There you go.
to June?
Okay, look this way and smile. One more. Perfect.
Oh, I see Natasha.
Congratulations. It's exciting that we have 3 diverse voices on the board as well.
Yes, Harold, by name, we can replace, we can pronounce easier.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. So the request is to put one of the board members, the new board members, between Danny and Mr. Tillman and Mr. Gallo. Oh, he had to leave. Okay. So we're going to go to item 1.6, closed session, public comments. We will be adjourning to closed session. Before we do, are there any public comments? Okay, great. And we will make sure that we're back here by, how many minutes are we going to be out for? Let's see. No later than 6:40. All right, thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. We are back from closed session. I am waiting for one more board member, additional board member. Okay, we will now resume from closed session. With that, I have an item that needs to be approved or voted on. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the appointment of the following employees: Silva Megan, elementary school principal, Kendall Elementary School, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined, funding 035. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, any discussion? No, if not, let's go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, motion carried. And she is here, so if you could stand up, please, and let us congratulate you. Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. Congratulations. 4.0, special presentation. 4.1, resolution declaring Clean Air Day. I'm going to go ahead and start with Dr. White, if you don't mind coming down this way. Did I do that last time, or should I?
You do that every time. Think you think we
Oh,
can't read down here.
that's, you know what, then
Works
hold on.
perfectly fine, Madam President, but
Okay, so
I can defer
Doc-
to Mr. Tillman if he would like.
That's right. See, I'm passing. So let me just go ahead and start with Miss Rogers, and then head down towards Mr. Gallo, and then Mr. Tillman. Let's see which one you get. Although, Mr. Gallo, are you going to do the resolution 16 de septiembre?
Now that you said it for him, yes.
Of what?
Yes. 16
Get
de
your sounder.
septiembre, 4.2.
All right.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's give it to you.
You ready? 4.1, resolution declaring a clean air day. Whereas it is vital that San Bernardino City Unified School District protect the health and well-being of children who are the future for our community. And whereas emissions from vehicle idling contribute significantly to air pollution, increase rates of cancer and heart and lung diseases, which adversely affect health, especially for children whose lungs are still developing. Therefore, be it resolved that the San Bernardino City Unified School District declares October 3rd, 2018 as Clean Air Day and encourages all schools and offices to participate in activities that promote clean air for all and raise awareness to the detrimental effects of vehicle idling. So moved.
Okay. Any conversation, any discussion? Now let's go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, motion carried. Mr. Gallo, are you okay with that?
Aye,
If not,
sure.
I can.
I think you should let
Miss-
Dr. Flores read
Dr.
that.
Flores,
No, we don't. We don't need to
Fine.
stay on.
are you okay?
Dr.
Are you okay?
Flores,
You want to do it?
do it, Dr. Flores?
No.
You want to try it?
I don't mind. You can correct me if I mess it
Okay,
up.
let's go.
She's not
Okay.
gonna do it justice.
Resolution in commemoration of the 16 de Septiembre. Whereas the 16th of September is an important day in the history of Mexico that marked the anniversary of the issuance of the Grito de Dolores,
Yes.
in which Father Miguel Hidalgo defined Spain and called for freedom and justice for the common man. And whereas the date of historical significance for Mexican people and others of Latin American ancestry is celebrated by many members of this community, including students of the San Bernardino City Unified School District. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District duly notes the celebration of the 16 de Septiembre.
Yes, that's
At
good.
the-
Septiembre.
What do you call it? Septiembre?
Septiembre.
Okay.
Septiembre.
And directs appropriate activities for its observance take place in the schools of the district.
So moved. Second.
Okay, great job. Okay, any discussion? Now let's go ahead and call 16 de septiembre.
Okay.
Okay, let's call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
We voted already.
Yeah,
Oh, we did?
all in favor.
Okay, there we go. You guys are fast. Just bypassed me, I
You
guess. I
didn't say
hear it.
that part, right?
Okay, muy bien. Muy bien, muy bien. 4.3, resolution in recognition of Native American Day. Mr. Tillman.
Resolution in recognition of Native American Day, whereas the Southern California region was home to many generations of Native peoples with distinct cultures and traditions that bound them to the earth and its inhabitants. And whereas September 28, 2018 is Native American Day, a day celebrated in California for many years by its 107 federally recognized Indian tribes. And whereas educational leaders throughout the region are encouraged to involve themselves and their schools in a statewide focus on improving the education provided to our children about the local indigenous tribes of Southern California. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District duly notes the celebration of Native American Day and encourages all educators to commemorate this day with appropriate instructional activities. So moved.
Okay. Any discussion? No, let's go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, motion carried. I will do 4.4, resolution in support of California High School Voter Education Weeks. Whereas the right to vote is a fundamental underpinning of democracy, one that must be personally cherished, practiced, and championed as a civic duty, and whereas young people play a critical role in our democracy by helping to choose the people who will lead us and by voicing their opinions on the issues that are important to them, are more important to them. And whereas California now has an online tool that allows eligible 16 and 17-year-olds to pre-register to vote and then automatically become active voters once they turn 18, and by reaching out early and often to students, we can help them develop a strong and lasting appreciation for the value of voting. And therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of San Bernardino City Unified School District declares September 16th through the 29th, 2018, and April 14th through the 27th of 2019 as High School Voter Education Weeks, and encourages district schools to participate in activities to help register and pre-register eligible students to vote, while encouraging others to become informed citizens and committed to becoming active voters once they reach voting age. So I'm asking for a motion. Okay, any discussion? Now let's go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, motion carried. 5.0, student board members' comments. Welcome again to our fellow new school board members. Our 4 members have, and then we have 3 members that were actually sworn in, and we'll rotate 2 of them at each board meetings to sit at the dais. Today we have Casimir Middleton and Greg Wielder, but Greg was not able to be here, so if I can have, maybe you could just state your name, because Jim.
Junalyn Parafina.
How do you say that again?
Junalyn Parafina.
Okay. Parafina. So then we recognize, and please step, well, this is for, I will start with Ms. Casimir. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Hello? Oh, okay. I didn't know if you guys wanted me to move it or not. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity that you guys have given me, and I promise to give all my dedication to being a student board member and making you guys proud. And I'm just excited for this new year and getting to know all of you individuals personally and on a professional level too. And thank you.
Atta girl.
And we welcome you to the board. You can state your.
So I want to introduce myself. My name is Junalyn Parafina. I go to San Bernardino High School. I go to San Bernardino High School. I am the school's Cardinal City Mayor and also a Miss Cardinal contestant. So if any of you guys are interested in going to Miss Cardinal on September 15th at the Sturgis Theater from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., you can buy tickets from me. I also want to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to speak, and I'm very nervous right now, even though you guys might not see it, but I'm very thankful to have this opportunity, and thank you.
You're doing amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that, and thank you for that public announcement.
Madam President, could I
Mr.
just
Tillman?
encourage the student board members that your opinion is valued, so don't hesitate to speak up. You're here for a reason, and because it's important for us to get a feel for what the current students think and what the things that you guys want. So don't hesitate to speak up, and just if you go to the chair, who's Madam President Medina, and just make eye contact with her or Vice President
Ms. Rogers, and
Rogers,
we'll make sure that
then
we
they'll make
call
sure you
for
speak. And sometimes you have to talk over Mr. Gallo because
Oh, look who's, yeah. It's sort of like Mr. Tillman is right now.
All right, great. Thank you for that suggestion. All right, great. Okay, so we're moving to 6.0, public comments. This is the time of the agenda when Board of Education is prepared to receive comments from members of the public on any matter within its subject jurisdiction. And when recognized, please step to the podium, give your name, and limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. For public comments by 6 or more individuals on any one topic, the time limit is 30 minutes. Please monitor your time. Mr. Volkemer, do we have any blue slips?
Yes, we do. President Medina, our first person, the board welcomes Chauncey Spencer, talk about a youth program in STEM focused on aviation and aviation history. Mr. Spencer.
Thank you. Can I pass my brochures around to the board members?
Yes, of course.
Again, thank you for allowing me to speak. I have history in San Bernardino. I'm putting the programs on now. We're working in Compton, California. This happened to be my father. So my father happened to be San Bernardino High School's first security officer, and he was honored with the 50-year anniversary of the class of '67. He happens to also be the first Tuskegee Airman to integrate African Americans into aviation by meeting with Harry Truman when he was a junior senator in 1939. So I'm carrying his legacy. I brought one of the products of aviation. MacArthur started with our program at 7 years old. He's now 23 years old. He's the manager of our airport. He's a pilot. He's also an aviation mechanic. So what I'd like to do here, I've already spoken with the principal at San Bernardino High School, and she has given me her support. Talking now with the ROTC chief to see about having 50 students come to Compton, to tomorrow's Aeronautical Museum. The museum has at least 5 history makers in there. One was Jonathan Strickland. At 14 years old, he flew over to Seattle and over to Canada and came back with 2 pilot licenses at 14 years old. He has a rotary pilot license. He has a fixed-wing pilot license. He's now 26 years old. He lives in Anchorage, Alaska. He came from Compton, California. He's a chief pilot for UPS. He flies cargo between China, Dubai, and India. And so these are just kids that come out of regular, ordinary communities like San Bernardino. So I was educated in San Bernardino. I came here in 1956, sort of telling my age, and I went to Harding Elementary School. I haven't been back here for 40 plus years, and I see that Harding's not there. I also went to Curtis Junior High School when it was a junior high school. I was also in the first busing in California in the early 1960s. So I think it's my job to come back to the communities that helped me stand as I do today and to reach back and give to other young people the same opportunity. So to the school board, what I'm asking is I'm asking for you to consider all of your schools, not only high schools, middle schools, elementary schools. I think children can be molded more from the 3rd to the 6th grade than they can as they get older because they become their own person. But I think that we can sort of help them along to be those people to give back to their community by working with STEM. So we operate off of science, technology, engineering, and math. We use aviation as the magnet, and we use the Tuskegee Airmen as people that overcame racial barriers. And America, I think, needs help on that. And so I'm here as one person. I believe my name is Chauncey Spencer. I'm not an African American. I'm not white. I'm a human being, and I'm an American. And I want everybody to understand that when America gets there, then we won't divide ourselves amongst ourselves. And I think that's very important. And I would take any questions, and I would thank you again for the opportunity.
Yes, Dr. Flores?
Thank you so much. This is a great opportunity for our kids.
Thank you.
And I would just like, I think all our kids should do this, as especially historically. And I really thank you for coming back to your community and providing this opportunity for our kids, all kids.
Yes, ma'am.
And so my question is, what is the cost for 50 kids?
$10 a child.
That's it?
That's it. $10 a child. We have an interactive museum. We have.
And the bus?
The bus, yeah, and according to the principal from San Bernardino High School, would be approximately $400.
So it would be only $10 per child.
Yes, ma'am.
And we would, our schools would schedule with you.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to also add on to that I'm doing this program. I've been doing this for 20 years, so I live in Detroit. And so I work with the Detroit schools. I'm funded through No Child Left Behind and the Kellogg's Foundation. So I worked with kids from the 3rd grade to the 6th grade that were disruptive in the classrooms. And I took the radio airplane as their toy, but also it was a tool. Because they had to learn how to build that airplane. They had to name all the parts. They learned public speaking. They learned how to do presentations. And they learned how to fly the airplane.
So what kind of curriculum do you offer? What kind of experiences do they get? Do they just go once?
No, this is to take them all the way. If they want to be pilots, this will take them right into becoming pilots. And all the way. We also have a commercial program. So this will take kids. There's 200 fields in aviation. So you might want to be an airport manager. You may want to be a FAA inspector. You may want to be a traffic controller. So we introduce them to areas that disadvantaged youth of all ethnic groups, of all areas, that haven't had a chance to see that there's a whole world out there waiting for them. And so what we do is when the first visit is a 4-hour visit at the museum, it's an interactive visit. So we have F-16 simulators. They actually sit in them. They fly around. They're not the real F-16s, but they're the F-16s. And so we gear it. So we teach World War II aviation. We teach the Korean War. We teach the Vietnam War. So we can change the scenes to whatever that lesson's going to be. We also have a rocket laboratory. So we're supported partially by SpaceX. So we're building a liquid methane rocket. We're using kids from Compton High School and Centennial High School, competing with the universities for the $1 million scholarship grant that will be launching off in May of 2019 at the Mojave Desert.
That's great.
All right, well,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
really like that you have 200 job positions.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we don't know about it. I don't even know. And it would be great for our kids to know
And what
all
we
their
could try
options.
doing is probably bringing this.
And before I step down, I would like to invite you all to come and do an exploratory visit, or to whomever would like to come to see that what I'm selling is real.
She has a
And-
question.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. I really don't have a question, Mr. Spencer. I had an opportunity to meet with you thanks to Charlie Seymour. Okay, and I just want to say thank you for coming back. You gave a lot of information, but your tie-in then was at Aurora Valley High School. But we're glad to see you back, and thanks. And thank you for the legacy of your father.
Thank you.
Francis Rice talked about him often.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Ms. Hill. And
Thank
Charles
you.
Seymour, I don't know if they know, but Charles Seymour has done quite a bit here. As a matter of fact, Charles
Quite a
Seymour
bit.
is part of our program when he was alive. And we had one of the first pilots, Kenny Roy, who lives over in Dubai, now retired with 10 years service in the Air Force. And he used to fly here from Compton and pick him up when he got his license in his 172 Cessna and fly Charlie Seymour back and forth.
All
So
right.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer.
You gave
Thank
me a
you.
lot of information. If you want it back, let me know, because
right.
I still have it about your dad and his
No,
involvement
no.
with Tuskegee Airmen.
That is yours to keep, please.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
great.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And I think we just spent a great amount of time. Thank you for that information. And we'll definitely, maybe if we have any more questions, we'll definitely request some more information. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
sharing.
Madam President. I appreciate it.
Okay, great.
Okay.
But let's try to be quick because I know that
Yeah.
we're trying to move forward.
Ask Dr. Volkemer to please, I don't know how you get the information out to all our schools, but somehow, provide that information for them.
We'll definitely make sure it gets
Yeah.
disseminated.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Mr. Spencer, for the work you're doing. Next, the board welcomes Trayvon Martin from CSBA.
Good evening, President Medina, Vice President Rogers, Dr. Volkemore, and Cabinet. My name is Trayvon Martin. I'm the Public Affairs and Community Engagement Representative for California School Boards Association. I was supposed to be here at the last school board meeting, but I was doing a PACER retreat in Long Beach and got stuck in traffic for about 3.5 hours. So by the time I got back, it was about 9:30, and I saw that you guys were already adjourned. So I am here to bring you an update. So you probably received a lot of emails from me about CSBA's regional meet and greet that was scheduled for September 11th. The date has been changed to October 1st, 5:30 to 7 p.m. Same location, County Schools Office in Rancho Cucamonga. A flyer will be coming soon for that, and your very own Ginger Ontiveros will be one of the keynote speakers around Pathways. It was requested that I bring an update on 2 bills, and I have an update on several bills for you guys this evening. So AB 2635, you guys might know that as the lowest performing student group bill by Weber. That bill was passed and amended, and it was signed by the governor in June. So they have a low performance student block grant, which allocated $300 million to districts in California to support the efforts of the lowest performing student group. By the CDE's data, that is our African American student group. So there is a way to apply for the grant. An LEA, which is a district, must develop a plan describing how the funds will be used to increase services for eligible students. And that plan must be submitted to the Superintendent of Public Instruction by March 1st of 2019 for the districts to qualify to receive some of those grant monies. AB 276, the Charter School Transparency Bill, was placed in inactive file and will most likely not be heard by Friday's deadline to send to the governor for his signature. SB 328, Portofino's pupil attendance school start bill did pass the assembly floor with a 41-30 vote. It was sent to the governor. CSBA, as you know, opposes this bill, not because late start is not a good thing, but because all of you guys at the dais here can make that decision tonight if you would like. And you do not need the state to mandate you to start your middle school and high schools later than 8:30. So CSBA is pressuring the governor not to sign the bill, so we'll see what happens with that. AB 951, known as the Pathway to College Act, was passed on Tuesday by the Senate, and it was sent over to the governor. This bill allows for students in 11th and 12th grade to take the SAT or CSTs instead of taking the Smarter Balance test or the CAS test in 11th grade, so that they have access to college. A lot of times parents can't afford taking the CSTs, or it's on the weekend and students don't make it, so that is a good thing. AB 2772, Ms. Rogers, you requested me to bring this update to you regarding the Ethnic Studies Bill. This was passed by the Senate and the Appropriations Committee, which removed the unfunded mandate of the bill. So now the mandate is gone. CSBA now supports the bill, and the governor is expected to sign the bill. This allows districts to offer ethnic studies as a graduation requirement, but the bill now authorizes the governing board of the school districts to apply for a California Department of Education grant to fund semester-long or year-long courses in ethnic studies that the governing board will require each pupil from 9th to 12th grade to take in order to graduate high school. So if you have any questions, I will take questions now. All right, great. I will bring you an update on other bills. If you have any other bills that you would like to know about, please give me a call or shoot me an email or shoot me a text message, and I'll be glad to come back to you all with an update on that bill.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Trayvon.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. The board welcomes Vincent Fawcett, who has a thank you to extend to the board.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much, board. I say thank you because I could wear 5 different hats in this community. But today I wear the most important hat to me, and that's being a father on this day. San Bernardino Unified School District hired my daughter, and she works at Rio Vista Elementary, and she's a teacher there, and she teaches special education.
Wow.
She received her master's in education last week from California Baptist University. And you guys hired her. I'm happy. So for one major reason, I no longer have to give her any money. Thank you, board members, for hiring my daughter. I love her. Please, and she's going to do a great job. And just thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course, and thank you for raising a wonderful daughter that will share her services here in the district for our students.
Do you have any other daughters that are going to become teachers, Mr. Fawcett, by any chance? We're always looking for good talent. Thank you.
Okay, great. Any other board comments?
That
Any
concludes
other
board
public
public comments.
Okay.
Madam President, I wanted to tell him, you think she's not going to ask you for more money, but let me tell you, I have a daughter that's a teacher, and they come back now and then.
Thank you for sharing that. 7.0, we have student achievement. 7.1, community report card. Dr. Volkemer.
Thank you, President Medina. As Mrs. Bardier comes up to take her seat at the presentation table, just want to frame what we're going to talk about this evening. Several months ago, Board Member Rogers requested the creation of a community report card, and the board supported that request. So we've been brainstorming and putting our heads together in terms of what that might look like, what shape, what format it might take. And so tonight we're going to bring you our preliminary thoughts and ideas regarding this project. Linda Bardier, our Director of Communications and Community Relations, will take you through our thinking and several options related to format. We'll give you a few minutes to tinker with what she's brought, and we really, our primary objective this evening is to get feedback from you in terms of what that community report card might look like. And so if we have do we have the PowerPoint queued up? If we can go to the next slide. Thank you so much. So what we really tried to do is two things before I turn it over to Mrs. Bardier. And what we heard from you loud and clear is we want to focus on transparency. We want to be completely open and honest with our community about what our successes are and what our opportunities for improvement are. And so while we'll be restricted by space in terms of paper, we do want to be absolutely transparent with the community. We're also going to try to balance that with utility, meaning we want whatever document you decide you want, or any combination of documents. It doesn't just have to be one form. We want it to be user-friendly and easy to understand. We want to give enough information to be useful to members of the community, but we always want to give the opportunity for them to dig deeper if they want to, and so you'll see that throughout the presentation tonight. Just one word of caution. Please try not to get caught up on the data itself. Tonight is not about a particular data discussion. You're going to see a lot of data pieces and a lot of data points. It's really not well, if you want to discuss it, of course we could, but that's really not our objective this evening. Our objective is to give you a look at the format. We will be bringing back, as we do throughout each year, a KPI presentation on all of our major KPIs month by month. If you look on your upcoming board agendas, they're all listed already for the year in terms of our KPIs. They're calendared. So with that, in terms of focus on transparency and balance with utility, I'm going to turn it over to Linda.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
And you said this originated with Mrs. Rogers, so I just want to get a feel for, when you say community report card, is the report card telling the community, is the report card from who? Is the report card from the community to us or from the district to?
And the name can be changed, I imagine. Doesn't
Sure.
have to necessarily stay.
I'm trying to figure out when you say community report card, is the district giving a report card of themselves? Is the community judging us, or what we think who's measuring who? And I guess, and the reason being so that is it going to be so people can pick certain schools they want to go to, or what's the ultimate purpose in the end?
So if you're asking me the question, So the community, oftentimes, we don't know where we are, where our results are, till later. So internally, from my perspective, it's also allowing the district to look at things much sooner as we're making adjustments, but it's also to be transparent to the community to see where we're doing. We had this discussion, I think, about a year ago, and oftentimes, we don't know whether we're doing good or bad based on the fact that we're graduating people, but that's great and wonderful. But where are our deficits? When we sit here as board members, we'll always ask, how are the African-American students? How is this student doing? How, you know what I'm saying? And so that's us having a discussion, but everyone doesn't get to see that or have a place to go and actually see it. And if you go to the state website, it's too complicated. But if we're looking at us, which is what we know we can fix or make adjustments to San Bernardino, that's what we're wanting to look at and look at our indicators and see what we need to adjust. So that was my perspective at that time.
Okay. Thank you.
And actually, that's the perspective we took as we started to build this. Linda?
Well, good evening, and thank you for allowing me an opportunity to share what the goal of the community report card is. We really wanted to set out to improve communication to our stakeholders, and as it was stated earlier, it was prompted by a request from the board. We want to provide accurate, useful information on a regular basis from the district to all of our stakeholders. And as you know, a student report card, the one that gets sent home with the students periodically, that is a summary of where they are at a specific point in time. So we are going to be working on creating our own report card to give the community a little snapshot of where we're at. It's, as a student report card doesn't contain every quiz and assignment and test, our district report card isn't going to have that much detail as well. It's just going to be a summary. Now, when a parent wants more information, they can go on Aries or go into an electronic grade book to see those detailed information. And so we're looking at creating a report card that would come out in October that would be more of a district report card for the 2017-2018 school year, and that would contain our summative information, and we would use that report card for upcoming KPI presentations. And then the idea is the report cards that come out in February and June, they will be more along the line of a progress report, and they would contain your information, our local indicators information, such as our progress, getting our students to reach the A through G requirements, the D's and F's report, and information such as that. So what we're going to share this evening are a couple of different formats, because we know that we can't fit all of the information into every single bit of information that the district has into an easy format. So you'll have a chance in just a moment to look through four samples actually. We have a pocket guide, something that would be very basic and easy to take with you, would have the most basic information. We'll have a brochure that has a little more depth, a single-page flyer, and then a two-page fold-out. So we're going to pass these samples around for you to take a look at, because it is our desire to make sure that what we create that will be shared in October during a KPI presentation, we want to make sure that we've designed something that's going to fit the needs that the board has and that will be easy to communicate to all segments of our community. So I'll ask that you just take a moment and look at those samples and talk among yourselves. And again, I'll remind you, we can go from just a general overview of information, a pocket guide that could be available in your lapel pocket, into something more detailed like a single-page flyer, or the two-page fold-out, which is more of a highlight on district accomplishments that will contain just a small amount of KPI information.
Do we have any board comments on these as you're reviewing them? Yes, Mr. Gallo.
Yeah, maybe we need does a magnifying glass come with this or something? I'm not, just kind of kidding. Some of the fonts are really small. Even with my glasses, it's hard to read some of this, but it's really cool data. I like the look of it. In fact, It'd be nice if we actually submitted these or had them mailed with our report cards to students. And this kind of goes with it. In fact, it'd be kind of neat to have the students' report cards be kind of like these, you know. I don't know if we can ever do that, but I like it. I think it's creative, it's, you know, catches your eye, and I really like it, Linda.
Thank you.
Any other board members? Mr. Gallo? I mean, Mr. Tillman? Hold on.
So it's not so much a report card as it is like a advertisement piece?
Mr. Tillman, if you're looking at the two-page fold-out, this
Right.
is the one format that has more of district highlights on it and not as much information that relates to our